First block, I'm really sorry that I missed you yesterday, and I'm even sorrier that I have to miss you today. Mrs. Pierce and I are both gone for some professional development, but the goal today is to get a nice little dry run, test run of what it might look like if we were to go virtual. Again, I've said this 1,000 times. I have no inside information that is going to happen, but we just need to be prepared. This is more about putting on your seatbelt, even though you probably think that you're not going to get in a car accident, and 99.9% of the time you're right. You don't get in a car accident, but you definitely need to put the seatbelt on every time. So this is me putting the seatbelt on to make sure that you guys know what we got going on today. Okay. If you're watching the instructional video, you're already you're doing the first thing right. Congratulations. All right. We're going to start today. You are going to write a journal like you normally would in your composition notebook, but you're going to write it as a class comment on this assignment. So on this assignment, go ahead and add a class comment and follow all of the regulations that we normally have for a journal prompt, which is 5 sentences on topic, fully developed. Make it something that someone would want to read, okay? And then add that as a class comment. So your prompt today is, do you believe in love at first sight? If so, why? If not, why not? And fully explain, okay? You could talk about the idea of love at first sight if you've ever talked to anybody who claims to have experienced it. So be robust in your response. The next thing you're going to do is either in your textbook or on Ed, I have the page number here, 267. You are going to read, and I'm going to click over to it, Love's Vocabulary, which is an essay by Diane Ackerman. So definitely read her background, kind of what her expertise is. And as you read, whether it be online or in your textbook, make sure that you are annotating. Make sure that you are asking valuable questions in the margins. Make sure you are highlighting what's important. Try to identify her argument. What claim is she making? Ask yourself what's important, those sorts of things. Okay. As you go through, you should be annotating. So I have that here. Make sure you annotate the piece as you read. The next thing you're going to do, and this one is on Classroom. This assignment is on Classroom. It's called Love's Vocabulary, Analyze the Text Questions. That looks like this. There are 5 questions, and I've kind of given you a very basic rubric here of 4-point responses are on topic, analytical, and evidence-based. 2-point responses, they might be on topic, but they're not really analytical and maybe not a whole lot of evidence. And 0 points, kind of missed the boat and didn't provide any evidence. Okay, so be complete, be thorough. Chances are these are not a 1-sentence answer, as you've heard Mrs. Pierce and I say multiple times. Okay, so after you've completed the Analyze the Text questions, you are going to read Act 1, Scene 2 in Romeo and Juliet. You can do that in your textbook like we've been doing. You can find it on Ed as well. And if you need to, please use No Fear Shakespeare as a reference to make sure that you do understand what's going on in Act 1, Scene 2, because you're going to add Act 1, Scene 2 to your act scene summary sheet that you started yesterday. Okay, so be thorough in your summary of what happens in that scene. And then just to double check that we're all on the same page, Mrs. Pierce and I are going to give you a quick quiz on Wednesday over Act 1, Scene 2. So really important that we follow directions here and get everything done. And when you are done with everything, get it turned in. Okay, so this Analyze the Text questions will get turned in. This is how it might look if we were to go virtual. Mrs. Pierce is also going to add a video where maybe she talks about her take on some of the assignments. Maybe she tries to answer some questions you guys might have. Maybe she looks at something specific, okay? For the Love's Vocabulary piece, know that it is definitely an essay. So know that it's not fiction, it's not a narrative, but an essay oftentimes can have a little bit of a personal bent to it. It can include different anecdotes and things of that nature. So understand that this really ties into the notion of love as we're talking about love with Romeo and Juliet. So as you can notice in your book, it's in the same unit because they are connected in that way. If you want, as you go through, you can maybe peek at some of the yellow boxes that I'm showing you here that might help you understand the piece a little more in depth. Those are always there for your benefit. And so if you take a second to do what they ask, you're probably going to form a deeper connection with the piece itself. So Screencastify only gives me 5 minutes on the non-upgraded version, so I'm going to keep it within 5 minutes. If we were to go virtual, I would make sure that I had more than enough time to explain everything to you. Be problem solvers, not problem describers. If you do have an issue, email myself or email Pierce. We will have access to email. So hopefully we'll be able to fix those problems for you. But try to fix those problems on your own with a restart or logging out, logging in, those sorts of things. Have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.